Okay, so let's leave behind syncopation for just a little bit, and let's work on what it physically should feel like when you're playing piano. So you've been learning a lot of chords and a lot of scales, but I want to make sure that you know, like physically, like on a very specific level, how it should be feeling in your fingers. Because a lot of music teachers, they don't tend to talk about this, but I feel like it's pretty important. So I'll just give you a lot of metaphors, a lot of guidelines, a lot of just things you can do to improve your playing, and just things to go for when you're playing the chords. So first off, I'll talk about when you're playing a note or when you're playing a chord, you want to make that sound come as immediately as possible, rather than there being like a like within your mind you're thinking of playing and then you play. You know, like you want it to just be like automatic. You just immediately play whatever you want to play at that moment. So if I'm playing like a G, just a G note, so I want to just I want to think about playing, and then I want it to be just immediate. Immediately I play, rather than there being some kind of hesitation there. So if you can do that, then you'll start to find that each of your notes is going to sound really crisp and really clear, because it's just an immediate playing of the note without any hesitation about what you're going to play. Because some people, they'll think about playing, and it's almost like you're going to commit to playing a note, but then you kind of half commit, so you're like, oh, I'll play it, soft or whatever, or like I won't play as crisp or clear as I can. So you just want to cultivate that immediate playing of the note, rather than like waiting or there being some kind of hesitation from the thought to the action. So and then next, I want to talk about just when you're playing a chord, you want to be immediately on top of the notes that you're going to play. So if my chord is like this C major here, then I want to have my fingers already on top of those notes before I even start to play. So even if I was like, let's say I was playing these notes first, so this is like a D minor, and then I'm going to the C major right here. So if I know this is my chord progression, then what I want to do is I want to take my fingers and I want to put them over the notes that I'm going to play, so I can anticipate what I'm going to play, and there's going to be very little probability of making a mistake here, right? Because if I'm playing the D minor and I've like held the pedal down or something, then I'm free to move my fingers right over the C major, and then I can just go bam, just immediately play when I need to. And then if I know that I'm going from the C major to the D minor, then I can put my fingers over the D minor and prep them. So I'm prepping my fingers so that there's very little chance of making a mistake or playing a wrong note, because I'm right directly on top of them. So all I have to do is just press my fingers down, basically. I mean, it's just an immediate sound. So you can combine those two concepts, so that when you're playing, and I have like my D minor 7 here, and I'm going to C major, then you can go over the D minor 7 and put all your fingers on top of it, and then just immediately play when you need to. And then prep for the C major, put your fingers there right on top of it, and then immediately play. Prep, play, prep, play. So you just get in this habit of anticipating where you're going to go, so that it becomes really, really easy for you to play. And then lastly, I want to talk about, so that was like playing your sound immediately, then immediately being right over the chord that you want to play. And then lastly, you want to eliminate all excess movements when you're moving from like this chord to maybe an octave above, because these are going to be big movements that the more simple that you can make them and the more direct that you can make them, the easier it's going to be for you to eliminate mistakes. So if you're playing, let's say I was playing a C major with a 3, 5, 7, 9 rootless in my right hand, and I want to play an arpeggio. So I'm going to play this the rootless, and then I'm going to move it up here. So my movement is dun, dun, it's these 8 notes. So that requires like one big movement after I finish these 4 notes, because I'm going to move up here, reset, play these 4 notes. So you want to eliminate all excess movement that you can, so that it goes, so your hand, when you play these 4 notes, then you just go directly horizontally over to the notes that you need to play. So it's the simplest movement, the most direct movement, the movement that requires the most energy. And you can just use that as a guideline. You know, whenever you're trying to play difficult passages or difficult chords, you want to just eliminate all excess movement that you can.